Det var ett ras, men det är inga skadade så.
Varför måste du ner till vi rädda människor där?
Ingen känner berget som Frigga.
Håll dig lugn. Hur många är kvar där nere?
108 arbetare och 4 från räddningsstyrkan.
Vad är det här för ställe?
Det här är vad som hände med Kiruna om inte flytt.
This film, released in 2023, is a Swedish disaster film inspired by real events in the city of Kiruna, Sweden, where mining activities caused ground instability and triggered earthquakes. The story of this film is about a city in Sweden where mining has been going on for a long time. Iron was mined from mines, but due to excessive mining, this area's land was badly affected. Hunger was a very common thing. Many buildings were destroyed, and there were big holes in many places. The people who lived here were being sent to other places, but there was a risk of great devastation. And that's what we will see in this film. The story revolves around the family of a woman named Frigga, who is the head of security of these mines. The film begins with the information that the biggest earthquake in the history of Sweden was in a city called Kiruna. This is the biggest underground mining in the world, and no one knows when the next shock will come or from where. And after that, we are shown some teenagers of this town who went to party in a mountainous area. By the way, it was forbidden to come here. One of them, who was intoxicated, goes to pee near a hole. His friends were stopping him, and when they went to bring him back, all of a sudden, due to a big hole, the 3 of them fall into it and certainly die. From this, we can get an idea of how dangerous it can be to live in this area. After that, the main character of the story is turned towards a woman named Frigga. Frigga is a woman whose life is very complicated. There are 2 children, a boy and a girl. She doesn't get along well with her husband, so there are talks of divorce. And these days, Frigga is also dating a man named Tobias. And beyond all this confusion, she also has to protect the people here, because she is the head of security in this mine. If anything happens to a civilian, it will be his responsibility. Recently, due to the feeling of earthquake, she was taking readings around. At this time, the woman she was talking to on the phone was a friend of Frigga, and she also worked in this mine. From the talks of these 2, we get to know that it is actually Frigga's son, Simon's birthday. Although Frigga's husband, whose name was Taki, now lives separately, but on his birthday, everyone meets. So Frigga leaves for her home. But she also got a call from her boyfriend Tobias. He came to the town of Kiruna without telling her. Tobias wanted to surprise Frigga, which he didn't like, because there are a lot of problems in his life these days. Anyway, Frigga loved him, so she was a little happy to see him, as if the people of this town were told to shift to another place from here. So some people didn't want to leave their homes, and some of them also went out to protest. Frigga meets some such people, in which a girl was not taking the name of moving away from the road. So Frigga drives ahead and scolds her. It turns out that this girl is actually his own daughter, who is not happy with the divorce of her parents. She doesn't even like this work of her mother, because of which the people of the whole city are being thrown out of here. Frigga brings Tobias to her home, where both are intimate, and at the same time, Frigga's ex-husband, that is Taki, entered the house. He still loved Frigga, but it was not told in the story why they were separated. So he didn't like to see another man in his house with his own wife. He didn't like it at all. But today, he came because it was his son Simon's birthday. Anyway, there is a little debate about both. After this, Frigga's daughter Micah also comes, and poor Tobias was just standing there without wearing pants. Now he realized why. Frigga didn't want him to come here. Anyway, what happened. Now they had to celebrate Simon's birthday. Kekli goes to his room, that maybe he is still sleeping. But he wasn't even in his room. Light shivers were now felt all over the area. Frigga didn't like this, So she talks about going to the headquarters. On the way, she tells Micah to find her brother. Now Taki was jealous of the bear, and he didn't want them to spend time together. So making an excuse to spoil his car, he sits in the car with him and goes to the headquarters. After taking a look there, Frigga decides to go inside the headquarters, because there was a lot of confusion in the readings. Outside, Taki talks to the bear, and says that you are doing this wrong. She is still my wife. She hasn't signed the divorce papers yet. Okay, this will happen. You go away from our life. But the bear was not agreeing. Frigga sits in the car with Angela, so that she can go inside the headquarters and take a look there. Then Taki also sits in the car with him. There was a way for cars in the headquarters. After going inside 350 meters, they had to stop. One of their workers was taking a look inside with the help of a drone, because of the shock they felt today. Because of that, a lot of confusion fell inside the headquarters, and nothing was visible from the drone's camera. Taki was worried about his son Simon, because he never goes far without telling. But Frigga said that he will be with his friends. Don't worry, Minka will find him. These four started to move forward slowly. For now, the work was stopped here. This was the end. Frigga herself takes a look at the nearby stones. With the help of a hammer, she hits at one place, because from the sound, it seemed like that place was hollow. And her guess was right, because the stones there break. Fortunately, nothing happened to them. But now in front of them, 2 kilometers away, an empty place. And after knowing this, she is very scared that actually this empty place is below the city. This means that all the digging around so far, it has weakened the ground below so much that at any time the whole city will get stuck in the ground. Frigga immediately decided that we will have to warn the people outside. We have to save our lives and get out of here as soon as possible. No network works in such depth. That's why she couldn't contact her people. They were making the decision to go back, that the ground began to move again. Big stones were falling. Frigga tells everyone to run to the rescue chamber quickly. In this mine, such iron chambers were made at some distance, that if there is a danger, people can save their lives quietly in it. It was good that no one was injured. So they lock themselves in the rescue chamber and wait until the atmosphere is calm. There it is shown to us outside the town that the younger brother of a girl named Felicia was playing in his garden. The sand there began to get stuck in the ground, due to which the child was also getting stuck. His father and sister save him at the right time. After this, he informs the fire brigade of this incident. Felicia is actually Micah's girlfriend, so Micah was looking for her brother. Her car was also missing. Friends found out that he had gone to a party. Micah gets her car, in which a boy from her school was sitting. Micah is very angry. She started fighting with him. That boy was running away. Micah was behind him. Seeing Micah running on the road, the bear stops his car and goes behind them. He stops them from fighting. Frigga asks why she is killing this boy. So Micah says that he stole my car. Then she asks him about her brother Simon. He tells her that he went to a party after school. She doesn't know where. But now Micah started worrying about her brother. She asks the bear for help. Frigga and his friends were still sitting in the rescue chamber when the voices stopped coming. Then they come out, the way they came in. Now it was completely closed due to the flood. No one outside knew that these people were inside, and even if they knew, it will take many days to remove the flood, and they don't have that much time. Frigga advises that we should go out through the old stairs, which no one had used for the last 10 years. Taki was afraid of closed places, and those stairs were there, where they have to get out of very narrow places. But now there was no other way. Some stones fell in that narrow path, due to which a person could have easily come out. Anyway, Frigga goes first. After that, it was Tage's turn. but he was very scared. Somehow Frigga and Angela convince him. But in the middle of the way, the fear overpowers him, and he fainted there. Frigga somehow gets him out. After that, the drone guy comes out. But when Angela was coming out, then the ground shakes again, because of which big stones fall on him. And in front of his eyes, he died. He was very sad to see this, but now he can't do anything, and he himself would have died if he had not come out at the right time, using those stairs. These 3 people came out alive and safe. As soon as the network is found, Frigga calls her daughter Micah and warns her that as soon as possible, she should go away from the city. The city is about to collapse. Frigga explains to the head of the department that we have to get the people out of the city right now. This place is hollow. This land will collapse at any time. Now there is no more time. Then Micah went to that place with the beer, where we were shown in the beginning of the film that some children were partying here. And then 3 of them fell into the hole. There they get some cell phones, but not children, which made them understand that maybe some people have fallen and died in it, and maybe Micah's brother Simon is also in it. But he still hoped that maybe he didn't come here. That's why these people started going straight to the city, because Micah had to save her friend Felicia too. Frigga and Tagi had come out now. A message is sent to every person living in the city on the cell phone that he should leave this area immediately. Sirens were ringing. People were not ready for this kind of situation. That's why they get scared, because Simon hasn't found them yet. So Tagi and Frigga leave to find their son in the crowd. Micah had reached the store to pick up Felicia and her mother. He wanted to take them away from there by sitting in the car. But it was too late. Once again, the ground began to shake because of the big cracks. Their car was stuck in the ground. At that time, De Beer was helping an old woman who had fainted. People were running here and there. When De Beer sees that Micah is in danger, then he immediately runs towards them. Micah's seatbelt was stuck. After taking out Felicia and her mother, De Beer helps Micah, and by cutting the seatbelt, they quickly get out of that pit. Many people had fallen into those big pits. In fact, they had died by saying this. The cracks were getting bigger. That's why these people run. But a shock. It was so dangerous that it splits the mountain in 2. A wave of smoke spread all around. And when they come out, it turns out that Felicia has also died, on which her mother and Micah cry a lot. After the atmosphere calms down a bit, all the injured are brought to a hospital. But Frigga has not found his son yet, and she could not leave him out to die. On condition that he is alive. Then a wounded girl who used to study in the same school where Simon used to study. She tells Frigga that Simon was in school. De Beer and Tugay also have a fight, because Tugay sees the wedding ring with De Beer. Obviously, De Beer is going to propose to Frigga for marriage. Although it was difficult to say whether these people will survive or not, but with an old woman, their fights do not end. Frigga ends their fight and tells that we have to go to Simon's school. So the whole family goes to school together. A lot of people were killed there. Frigga and Tugay try to see everyone's face, that he may not be their son. Simon met them on the lower floor, where the roof was broken. And now this building was so weak that they had to be very careful. Anyway, Simon was alive, but he was stuck in such a place from where he could not get out on his own, and the rope could not be thrown. There was also a wounded girl there, badly injured, who was asking for help. So Frigga ties herself to the rope. De Beer and Tugay help her. But while saving Simon, when she pushes herself towards him, then an iron rod goes into his feet. Because now he was out of place. Simon could not help him so easily, and Frigga was in a bad condition. Someone had to hold the rope. This means that De Beer and Tugay could not do anything. Without anyone's help, Micah went to help her mother. Frigga's brother and sister take out Frigga's leg. Then Simon is pulled up. But when Micah was coming up, then she started falling, because the wire she was hanging from, it was about to break. Tugay grabs that wire. Like a hero, so that Micah can get more time, because at that time the rope was up. In all this, it takes so long that Tegay could not bear the pain, and she died. But yes, he did save his daughter. While dying, he tells Tabir, "Take care of my family." And at the end of the film, it is shown that the rescuers have reached there, which brings them out. The city was more than half destroyed, and many people had been killed. This is where the story ends.